FIFO in itself is a pressure, not living at home, constantly traveling. If you are struggling or you don't know how to deal with these things, definitely sing out. FIFO Collective, something that brings together FIFO workers and businesses that want to support the FIFO lifestyle. Over 80 different partners on there right now. It's $69 for the year, the one-stop place for employee benefits or a FIFO worker benefit. This is something that's always evolving. We're adding partners every single week. FIFO's given me a lot. However, obviously there's been sacrifices along the way, but you just show up every single day. The next day, you might get something that just, lights up your world.
Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Road Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Today's the last day of Diggers and Dealers, so if you're on the plane back from Kalgoorlie, then hope you tune in and watch this episode. Today we have Jake Moret. Moret? Is that good?
Yeah, feeling fancy.
I'm feeling very fancy, mate. Thank you very much. So from the FIFO Collective, you're going to hear all about that, but mate, take us back to your younger years.
Yeah, so born in the UK. Obviously grown up in Essex.
Essex Boys?
Yes.
Great
Essex,
film.
Great film, yeah. I'm sure you've divulged into all that story.
Yeah, for sure.
Born in the UK, went to school in Essex, grown up, and then, done my apprenticeship, growing in Essex and London.
What apprenticeship?
Yeah, Sparky apprenticeship. Commuting in and out of London every day. So city boy. And then shortly after that, I came over here.
What drew you to Australia, God's country?
To be honest, I only planned to come here for 6 months.
Really?
I came here in 2019.
Did you do like the whole Southeast Asia and then come here?
Yeah. It was a bit of Thailand. Done the East Coast. Was going to say, 6 months, and then COVID happened. So my East Coast trip went tits up.
Yeah.
We found ourselves at a farm in Queensland.
You come over with some mates, did you?
Yeah, come over with one mate.
Yeah.
Then 7 years later, find myself on this podcast.
Beautiful, mate. Take me back to your bloody trade, mate. What you do any high voltage back in or instrumentation or anything back in the UK?
Very, very different to what I'm doing now.
Yep.
When I left school, something I didn't include. When I left school, I done business and finance
at uni or something
at school.
Oh yeah, okay.
Last couple of years of school, and then I was going to go uni. Didn't end up going to uni. I actually found myself on an investment floor selling property investments to, overseas investors and things like that. Was a bit young at the time, straight out of school. Probably didn't really have the drive or just, the realisation of, a cutthroat sales floor in London, making 200 calls a day.
Awesome. I would like that.
Yeah. But look, what I learned there is probably what I've taken and why I am where I am now. So ended up basically coming out of that, and I said to my dad, I want to learn a trade.
Yep.
So found an apprenticeship. Went to college. We predominantly done commercial fit outs across UCL, University College London. So a lot of laboratory fit outs, bit of underground mains sort of stuff because everything's in the tunnels under London. Yep. Bit of rail on the network there, but very different to what I'm doing now, mate.
Yeah, cool. Recently just got a job with PLS, is that right?
Yes, I actually start on Thursday, mate.
Awesome, mate. And you've actually got some great news on Wednesday.
Yes, becoming an official citizen of Australia.
Beautiful, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, long time coming, mate. Long time coming. What
was the process like for you getting your citizenship?
Yeah, so it's been a crazy process. I mean, I suppose all start from like switching the qualification over, from the UK, being a tradie there, and then having to do my
RPL.
Yeah, having to do all that sort of stuff here. Started with that. I probably started the whole residency process like 2.5 years ago.
How'd you find it? Was it easy? Was it difficult?
I mean, look, I'm in the best position possible because I'm a tradie and they need
Tradies.
They need tradies. So in terms of how other people find it, I found it relatively easy. It was good, and just enjoy the process while you're doing it, mate. And I've met a lot of people along the way
that have helped you.
Yeah, that have helped me, and I suppose going off on a slight tangent, but like I suppose
that's what we do here.
Yeah, I suppose like my first experience with FIFO was I was living in Queensland. I was, like I said to you before, living on a farm during COVID. That was the only work we could find as backpackers and things like that. And then a couple of my mates there were Sparkies, and we said, right, we need to go and earn some money. Anyway, I found a job on Gumtree, and it was this guy up in the NT advertising for a couple Sparkies, a couple labourers. And we ended up, he said, look, just get yourself to Darwin. And he said, I'll fly you over to Elcho Island.
Wow.
So we drove from Queensland to Darwin in our $3,000 Jeep.
Beautiful. Made it, obviously.
Yeah, through Mount Isa, through the centre there. Eventually got up there. But that was my first introduction to FIFO.
So what were you doing? So obviously you didn't have your Australian, because every state has its own license. You obviously wouldn't have had an NT bloody electrical ticket. So you're just doing some electrical labouring?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Getting paid well for it?
Not as well as I am now.
But look, a Sparky is getting paid, unless you're a BHP Sparky who's looking for 450,000. A little bit greedy of you can only hope and dream. That's always sounded like some offshore type money. I think they've got some specialty high voltage trains sort of carry on or loco stuff. I don't know. Anyway, and then from there, so what was the process for you RPLing? And you got your WA electrical license?
Yeah,
right?
so I actually done my RPL in Sydney.
Okay.
After that went back down to Sydney. I was working on the big metro project there. That was really good money. Good experience as well. So I've always, like, throughout my whole time in Australia, I've always worked on like tier 1 sort of jobs. Crazy experience coming from, Arnhem Land, living in an Indigenous community, to like back into this big smoke in Sydney, doing my RPL. And then, it was actually throughout COVID time, got my first WA job.
Yep. Was it easy transition with the license changeover?
Yes, it was. It was fairly easy. We done got all my documents from home. Not an easy price tag though. Like,
I can imagine
$7,000 to like change it over.
Wow.
And like it's exactly the same as what we do back at home.
Yeah, did you have to do any tests or?
Done all my what do you call it here?
Capstone.
Capstone, yeah, that's it. Done all my capstone and stuff. Again.
Yep.
Same as our AM2 back at home.
Yeah, okay.
Just different colours.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, mate, let's get into the light bulb moment for the FIFO Collective. And, was there a fight? Was there a light bulb moment, or was it just a bloody slow burn of what can I do? How can I create something?
So, to be honest, like, it wasn't really a light bulb moment. I mean, as I said to you before, like, I've always been interested in business. Yep. My head has always been, what's next? Like, what can I create? I've always had that in me. And over the last few years of working FIFO, it was something that kind of built up. And I noticed that when you work for mining operators, you get employee benefits. Most of the industry is made up of mining contractors.
That's right.
When you work for a mining contractor, what do you get? Nothing really.
You get a bloody good salary.
Yeah.
Bloody good pay packet.
Yeah.
It's what you do with it afterwards that counts.
For sure. And like the employee benefits that you genuinely get with the mining operators, they're not necessarily tailored to what FIFO workers actually use. So this has been building up, wasn't really a light bulb moment. It was kind of something that I realized over a long period of time, a few years, So what I created was FIFO Collective, something that brings together FIFO workers and businesses that want to support the FIFO lifestyle and giving FIFO workers value outside of their time, outside of their work, and it doesn't matter what payslip they get, doesn't matter what shirt they're wearing.
Beautiful. Right. Let's break into it. What are the benefits?
So
how do people get involved? From start to finish on the FIFO Collective.
Yeah, so FIFOcollective.com, you've got over 80 different partners on there right now. There's thousands of dollars worth of value. Just some of the examples, you've got ARB in Coburn. I've got exclusive pricing for the whole store in Coburn. I've got Dometic. I've got, that's just 4-wheel driving. I've got Beauty.
People got lots of cash to throw into their 4-wheel drives, right?
But yeah, I've got fishing trips in Vanuatu off the coast of Brisbane, 3-night stays. I've got there's thousands of dollars, So yeah, you
sounds like it might be tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, you can just jump. Yeah, you can jump on, see all the value on there, and it's $69 for the year. So 1 or 2 purchases on the platform pays for itself, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to create something, that really puts value back in FIFO workers' pockets. And the whole thing I didn't want to create a discount website. That's not what this is. This is a exclusive members platform specifically built for FIFO workers and built by somebody that lives the FIFO lifestyle. I know what we want and I know what we spend money on.
Yep. Are you going to do any what's the plans for the business for the future? Are you going to do like meetups and get a bloody pub, get a pub on board and something in the city and saying, hey, listen, we're all going to meet up here. There's another outfit called Inner Circle. Yep. I've seen on various social medias. I actually know a couple of people who head along to their events. They're not FIFO.
Yeah.
Some of them work FIFO.
Yeah, I know a few of the boys.
Yeah.
FIFO. There.
So,
no, it's definitely something we're looking at, and we're keeping on our radar, and we're always open to do collaborations and get involved in those sort of things. We want to grow a community, and I suppose the vision for FIFO Collective is to become the one-stop place for employee benefits or FIFO worker benefits across Australia.
Is this something that mining contracting companies could approach you and say, hey, listen, we like what you're doing. We want to get involved. How can we have those employee benefits for our employees? Yeah,
and it's funny you say that, because over the last few weeks we've had some really good conversations with labour hire companies. We've had a few conversations with contractors as well. And what is the benefit for companies enrolling their employees onto the platform is that you're not getting a stagnant employee benefit. This is something that's always evolving. We're adding partners every single week.
Yep.
And from a business point of view, it's something that is turnkey. You don't need to implement anything. We do everything. All you need to do is enroll your members. We handle everything from partner onboarding to member onboarding, and I suppose in a competitive market for workers right now is something that is quite attractive for employee retention in this current market as well.
Absolutely, mate. tell me some of the key points that you've learnt in your own FIFO role.
In my own FIFO role, what, building the business as well? Or?
No, just what it's like, like you get paid lots of money to work FIFO, but it's not all bloody roses, is it?
Yeah, look, over the last few years, FIFO's given me a lot. Being a backpacker and a bit of a traveller when I first came over here, it's given me a lot. It's given me a lot of opportunity to, one, start a business.
Yep.
Two, travel, see the world, and that's valuable in itself. So yeah, it's given me a lot. However, obviously there's been sacrifices along the way, but I do I say one thing that I've really taken from it is that you've got to make it count. Make it count, and look to the future and say where do you want to be, and
everyone talks about the golden handcuffs.
Yeah,
and anyone who's working in mining or worked in mining knows how difficult it is because you're you're earning so much money and then you buy the vehicle that your bank balance can afford. Then you look at hopefully look at purchasing a property, and then you're looking at a property that you can looking at your bank balance once again. What can you afford? And but it's always what can you afford now currently. What about for a mining downturn? What about in the future a mining downturn? I don't know if enough people think about that. Like you're taking out a mortgage for 30 years, 25 or 30 years. Are you going to be earning that money for the next that pay packet? For the next 30 years.
I definitely think, from what I've seen in the industry so far, I feel like the industry is way more exposed on social media now compared to when I first got into the industry, 5 years ago. I feel like it's way more exposed, and I do feel like more and more people are getting exposed to, education about, finances and things like that in the industry. And yeah, like you say, I do think it's important to create something, because running a business is not, it's not for everyone. Not everybody's in a position to do it. So there's nothing wrong with not starting a business. But I think the important thing is to, look to the future and say, where do you want to be?
Absolutely.
What are you going to be happy with, and make the changes today to create that future.
But FIFO, that's what we're here to. Obviously, we're here to talk about FIFO Collective. But as we were saying, there's so many pressures in working FIFO that a lot of people don't people that don't work FIFO don't understand. Those time related pressures, the relationship pressures. You're not there for birthdays, you're not there for anniversaries. You might be missing Christmas and New Year's and all of those important dates that are important to someone. What's your views on mental health in the workplace? You're working up north. You've been working up north on some of these big sites. What's your view on the industry?
Yeah, I think it's definitely improving, and I feel like the mental health side of FIFO is definitely close to home for me as well. Running a business, managing my relationship, and juggling all my time pressures. I've just moved house. All of that stuff comes into factor. FIFO in itself, is a pressure. Not living at home, being in, constantly traveling and things like that. So, I do feel like if you are struggling or, you don't know how to deal with these things, definitely sing out, because, I feel like there's so many people out there that want to help.
There's so many organisations, great organisations, Lifeline, just got to, but first port of call is your mates.
For sure.
Speak to your mates, no one's too tough in this industry anymore, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Have you had any close to home experiences with mates of yours in mining that have sung out and need a hand?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously I won't say any names, but definitely a few close mates that have been on other sites and stuff. Few additional pressures at home, and I think a big one for a lot of my mates being from the UK is that when you have family in the UK that are so far away and, you know, someone falls ill or, you know, is not in the best health, that's a massive pressure, you know. So, yeah, definitely seeing out there's so many people that want to help and, you know, manage these situations. So,
for sure. Mate, let's talk about money beyond the payslip, right? And so, I mean, that's the crux of what you're doing, trying to build something, bringing on amazing businesses with the FIFO Collective and wanting to get some like-minded individuals involved. So great money comes great responsibility to spend it well.
It does.
Spider-Man. It's a little Spider-Man thing.
But yeah, look, as I said to you before, it's like, look to the future. What are you going to be happy with? You know, and what do you want to achieve? And it's all well and good, you know, spending all this money, but it's not going to be forever, you know. And what are you willing to endure in terms of pressure?
Yep.
What's the good in earning all this money if you're going to put pressure on yourself financially, and not really be able to kind of like enjoy it later on in life? And that's part of the reason why I created FIFO Collective as well, you know, like giving value back to FIFO workers. And there's so many businesses that want to support the lifestyle as well. And that's why I created one place that we can go to on our weeks off and get value back from ARB and Coburn, you know, all of these different things. And it's not just random things, you know, it's things that you spending your money on already. So yeah, that's what part of the reason why I created it as well.
I like it, mate. What did you say? You're 30 years old?
30, yeah.
30 years old with a little bit of entrepreneurial drive. I really like that. You're a Sparky.
Cheers.
You can't get any fucking better than that in my book, mate. So you're the tippity top. Look, mate, last question for me. It's not really a question. Well, it is kind of a question, but hit me with your some advice, best advice that someone's given you to get through to where you are today.
I think being a business owner and always having that kind of pressure and working FIFO and having all the experiences that I've had, I think one piece that I always kind of live by is, you know, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. You love them all the same,
Yep.
you know, and I do think it's all part of the process to, you know, appreciating those good ones and those bad ones. You know, the bad ones that you have, you know, as a founder, it's not, building in public is not easy. And like, I've had some terrible days where I think, what's the point? But you just show up every single day and
keep going.
Yeah, keep going. And the next day you might get something that just, you know, lights up your world. Yeah. And if you just stopped the day before, you would have never have got that.
Absolutely, mate. That's bloody powerful. I like it. And I believe it. I've seen it. I've lived it. That's bloody awesome.
Yeah.
Look, bro, thank you very much for coming in and spending the time with me. We're going to make sure that we support your business. We're going to put, obviously, access to the website. And then when we do all of our bloody little bit of marketing, we'll make sure that we're tagging some of those businesses that you're already working with. But I look forward to following on. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to jump on board because I'll tell all my mates.
Yeah, we're just getting started. Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah, I think I can see with the passion that you have, I think it'll go really well for you, mate. So I hope you get all the support that you need.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Cheers.
Thanks very much for tuning into another episode on the Gold Room Podcast. Make sure you do jump on and support the FIFO Collective. I think they're going to do big things. So make sure you jump on, join them. Thanks.